Hello everyone and welcome back to Where in the World, a series here on Go Westeros. In this episode, just like we did last time, we will be looking at 3 minor houses of Westeros, what they've been up to, where in the world they are, and how they pertain to the overall story as it's being told. In the last episode, we looked at houses Castle, Florent and Estermont, and this week we'll be looking at House Hardyng of the Vale, House Tarly of the Reach and House Manwoody of Dawn. At this point, I should mention that this does contain spoilers for all 5 novels of A Song of Ice and Fire, so if you're not up to date, I would not continue on much further. I'm your host Jack, and let's dive right into it. House Hardyng is a noble house from the Vale of Arryn. Their words are not known, nor is their lordly seat. Their sigil is a field of white covered with red diamonds. They are sworn to House Waynwood of Iron Oaks. There are a few known Hardings through the events of A Song of Ice and Fire, including Sir Harold Hardyng, known as Harry the Heir, his eldest bastard daughter, Alice Stone, and an unborn bastard by Saffron, the daughter of a spice merchant. An unknown relation in Deanna Hardyng is the wife of Walton Frey. There isn't much history of House Hardyng. A known historical member was Sir Humphrey Hardyng, who participated in the Ashford Meadow tourney in the 209 AC. He begins the tourney as one of the champions. He took Sir Duncan de Torre's side during the Trial of 7. House Hardyng have a minimal inclusion in A Song of Ice and Fire. Our introduction of them comes in Book 4, A Feast for Crows. Sir Harold Hardyng is the ward of Lady Anya Waynwood. He's the heir presumptive of the Vale, should anything befall Lord Robert Arryn, the young sweet Robin. Harry takes part in a small melee held at Runestone, only containing squires. He wins the melee and is knighted by Lord Jon Royce. Peter Baelish, also known as Littlefinger, the Lord Protector of the Vale, arranges a betrothal between Harry the Heir and Sansa Stark, who is hiding in the Vale as Peter's bastard daughter Elaine Stone. He schemes to reveal her true identity and reclaim Winterfell in her name. And that is literally all we have of the Hardings. I imagine the story with Harry the Heir and Sansa and Littlefinger will develop much more come the Winds of Winter. I know there is some info in the sample chapters currently released. I will not be diving into them, but I do look forward to reading about that in the hopefully near future. First in battle are the words of House Tarly of the Reach. They are one of the strongest houses sworn to the Tyrells of Highgarden. Their castle Horn Hill is located in the foothills of the Red Mountains of Dawn, making them Marcher Lords. We've explained what Marcher Lords are in a previous episode with House Swan. Their sigil is a red huntsman on a green field. The Tarleys are an old rich family with honour and a strong keep. They are also keepers of the famous Valyrian steel greatsword named Heartsbane. Known Tarleys throughout Song of Ice and Fire include Lord Randall Tarly. He is described as a narrow man with an iron will, shrewd and capable. He is also considered one of the best military commanders in Westeros. His wife Lady Melessa of House Florent, whom we've covered in a previous episode. Samuel Tarly, their eldest son, a fat craven boy. Tala Tarly and 2 other unnamed daughters, and as well as their youngest child, Dickon Tarly. Dickon Tarly. Historical Tarleys include Savage Sam Tarly, who during the reign of King Aenys Targaryen I was among the Marcher Lords that participated in the vulture hunt to find and kill the Dornish Vulture King. Lord Alan Tarly, who declared for the Blacks during the Civil War, known as the Dance with the Dragons. The Tarly huntsman was spotted by Dunk in the Ashford tourney. Samwell Tarly is listed as having competed. During Robert's Rebellion and more recent history, Lord Randall Tarly commanded the vanguard of the Reach in the Battle of Ashford. He is the only one to have ever defeated King Robert, despite Mace Tyrell taking credit for the victory. We are first introduced to House Tarly through Samwell Tarly, Lord Randall's eldest son, who is sent to the wall to join the Night's Watch. He becomes a steward and befriends main character Jon Snow. Sam has been removed in the line of succession by his father in favour of his younger brother Dickon. In A Clash of Kings, Lord Randall is among the lords that join their forces to Renly Baratheons beneath the walls of Bitterbridge. Renly was at Horn Hill, the Tarly castle, when he received Stannis' letter concerning the illegitimacy of Cersei's children. Randall is among the lords who do not go over to Stannis' side after Renly's death. He captures Renly's stores at Bitterbridge, keeping them for his own, and puts many men to death, many of them Florent men-at-arms, should they defect to Stannis. Lord Randall is present at the Battle of Blackwater, and after he is presented to the Iron Throne, where he had commanded the centre of the Tyrell Lannister host. Up in the north and beyond the wall, Samwell Tarly is part of the Great Ranging in search of Mance Rayder, the King Beyond the Wall, and Benjen Stark, the first Ranger of the Night's Watch, who is lost. In a storm of swords, after the Battle of the Fist of the First Men, Samwell slays an other. He escapes the mutiny at Craster's Keep with Gilly, Craster's daughter/wife. They manage to get back to Castle Black after a while. After the Battle of Castle Black, Sam arranges for the election of Jon Snow as Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, convincing the other participants to pull their votes together in favour of Jon. Down in the Riverlands, Lord Randall Tarly defeats a northern army at the Battle of Duskendale. He then goes on to capture the town of Maidenpool and locks Lord Mootton in a tower cell. We have of course covered House Mootton in a previous episode. In A Feast for Crows, Jon Snow orders Samwell to attend the Citadel in Old Town to gather lore about the others. Sam intends to send Gilly and the wildling prince son of Mance Rayder to live with his mother Melessa at Horn Hill and pretend that the infant is his bastard son. Sir Kevin Lannister suggests Lord Randall as a good candidate to fill the vacant position of Hand of the King. When Brienne of Tarth goes to Maidenpool on her search for Sansa Stark, she meets Lord Randall Tarly dispensing justice. He dismisses her mission and tells her never to set foot within his sight. Randall arranges the betrothal of his son and heir Dickon to Lord William Mootton's eldest daughter Elena. In A Dance with Dragons, Dickon and Elena are married. Lord Randall returns to King's Landing upon receiving the news of the arrest of Queen Marjorie Tyrell. He receives custody of her and her cousins after swearing a holy oath to return them for the upcoming trial. As part of Lord Regent Kevin Lannister's efforts to assuage the men of the Reach, Lord Randall Tarly is named Master of Laws. Now, you may be thinking I did skim a lot on Sam's story there. Sam is a point of view character for the books. He's one of the major point of view characters for the books, I'd say. And this sort of series here on the channel is pretty much dedicated to casual fans. So casual fans, I'm assuming, would have read the book and are familiar with Sam's story. This is more about the rest of the Tarlys, mainly Lord Randall, who is one of the only major ones, and catch up on what they've been doing rather than the point of view character. House Manwoody of Kingsgrave is an old Dornish noble house. Its seat, Kingsgrave, is placed amidst the prince's path, guiding access to Dorne. They blazon their banners with a white skull with a golden crown over a black field, one of the coolest sigils in my opinion. Their words are not known. Known members of House Manwoody throughout A Song of Ice and Fire include Lord Daegos Manwoody, his eldest son and presumably his heir, Mors Manwoody, his second son Dickon Manwoody, which was possibly the greatest name that's ever been created, and his brother Sir Miles. A small tidbit in history of the Manwoodies are that the castle's name Kingsgrave, and their sigil of the crowned skull is in reference to the founder of the house, because he slew the King of the Reach there. Quite a big boast, and quite an insult to the rest of the Reachmen, I suppose. House Manwoody play a very small role in A Song of Ice and Fire. There isn't much info in the house. We are introduced to them in A Storm of Swords, Book 3. Lord Daegos Manwoody, his brother Sir Miles, and his sons Mors and Dickon are part of the escort that go to King's Landing with Prince Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. They are present at Tyrion Lannister's... They are present when Tyrion Lannister comes to see the Prince of Dorne. Presumably, they are present at Tyrion's trial and are witness for Prince Oberyn's death in the trial by combat against the Mountain. I'm not sure if that's ever been said, if they are or not. It'll be interesting to see what their thoughts are, if they have any, in the upcoming books. Obviously, a lot of Dorne is very angry at the death of Oberyn. And as we wrap up on House Manwoody, we wrap up on this episode. It's quite a short one, I suppose. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found at least some of what I said helpful in your quest to gain as much knowledge of this world as possible. Remember to find me on Twitter @GoWesteros. Drop me a comment, a tweet, some advice, some criticism, or just say hello. I've been Jack, your host, and I'll see you all very soon.